Salam alaikum. Good morning, guys. Peace and blessings. Hope you guys are doing great. I send my blessings to you guys, and ladies, gentlemen, and ladies. Another day, you know how it is. Another penny. This is life. We have to work in order to pay our bills and to maintain our lives. Money is not everything, but in this world that we live in these days, everything costs money. You don't eat for free, and you sure don't get your light and gas and water and everything else essentials given to you for free. So we have to work. That's the name of the game. When I used to read, well, I don't used to, I still do, because I like to research information and stuff like that. There's a letter written by Paul, right, in the scriptures, and when I read, I was like, wow, like it's crazy, because there's a letter that Paul that wrote in the Bible, the New Testament, and he writes and states that those who do not work should not eat. And he was writing it to the people. I don't know if it was in Ephesus or Galatia or which place. I forget to who. But he wrote that because people were working. Some people were working to help the community, and other people were not helping and working, were not working to help the community. So he said those who don't work should not eat. Like, don't feed them, in other words. Because he himself said, nobody has given me anything. I myself, as being a prophet, and I do deserve, in other words, a prophet's recompense, meaning a priest that gives out information and helps out the community. He's entitled to get paid because he's, in other words, doing the will of God. And as a priest, he should get paid. That's why you see a lot of these churches out here, they get paid for teaching the people and reading the scriptures and doing all types of things that they do in churches. They get paid for that. So by the church. Now, he said that those who do not work should not eat. In other words, don't feed them, because him himself, as being a person that should be getting paid by his followers because of the work that he's putting in, God's work, he works himself. And he explains, and you'll read that the type of work he did. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was sewing nets or sewing tents, but he used to do that. So we all got to work, long story short, we all got to work to survive and to put our little bit in, to keep rolling. Anyway, I did not come from I don't know what the hell happens to me sometimes. I come up with some stuff and things hit my mind, crosses my mind, and they just say it, and I just say it. Somebody asked me a question. They sent me an email, and they asked me a couple of difficult questions, or let's say a couple of different questions that have to do with Bilongo, medicine. And I say difficult because there's just not one answer to this question. How do you use the medicine and implement the medicine, execute what you're trying to accomplish using the medicine and the spirit, how do you do that? And in order to know or to learn anything about that, you have to go to your elders and find out and ask the elders to teach you how is that implemented and how do they do it. Because a lot of houses, even though you're gonna do your own thing, once you get to your, get your time and you climb up the ladder, you're gonna end up doing your own, I'm not saying your own thing, but as far as when I say own thing, is that you yourself and that spirit are gonna build your own ways of accomplishing and executing certain things, when it has to do with the medicine. Give me 1 second, please. Sorry about that. Once again, you know how it is, making the donuts. The execution, what do you use? What mania, ideas? It's all dependent on how much knowledge you know about nature, animals, all types of things of nature, and the connection that you have with that spirit that you're using. It just doesn't have to be an enganga that you could do work with medicine. First of all, you have to find out what the problem is. After you find out the problem, you have to find out if that spirit is going to take that that job on, like if it's gonna do it for you, if it's gonna help the person. You have to make sure that it agrees. When I speak like this, I'm speaking about the way we do things dealing with spirits that either they are our ancestors, or spirits that we treat like if they were our ancestors. I'm not talking about any other way. This is how I'm talking, and this is what I mean. So you have to know what is the problem. You have to ask the spirit if it could fix that problem. Let's just say like that. If it's capable to fix that problem, if it wants to do that, or work with that situation also. One thing is want, one thing is if it could help you. And there are other things. Another thing is, what does the spirit needs to accomplish the execution of what you're trying to solve or do? I do not know what you're doing. I'm only giving you examples. Then you also have the idea that you are introducing to the spirit in order for the spirit to understand exactly what do you mean. You understand? That idea that you have, you're kind of reflecting it to the spirit. And the spirit is picking up that idea. That's where, on one of my videos, I spoke about the animistic side of Bilongo. You know? Because there are a lot of things in Palo that you need to use that animistic idea and reflect it or use it so the spirit could understand exactly what is it that you are trying to do. Okay, that's another thing. Now you always have to remember that plants have certain energies. Some of them are used for more balance. Some of them are used to make things unbalanced. People will say some of them will use it to do good, some of them will use the other ones to do bad. Okay. You have to have that also in play. Now you also have to understand that a lot of these things that you use from our nature, from natural resources, whether it be plants, flowers, roots, bugs, and all what you think about in nature, right? You're using the idea of that, but at the same time, these plants have properties. These trees have properties. These stems have properties. These roots have properties. These encunias have properties, right? So there are some bilongo, some medicine that you're actually using the actual property of the medicine literally, whichever way you're going to use it, whether it's a concoction, whether it's a powder, whatever form. And sometimes these, depending of what you're doing and what is it for and what's the reason, a person you might have to give that to a person for them to consume. For they could get the natural essence and power off of that natural thing, whether it's tree or whatever, to help them with what they need to be helped from or with. You understand? Then you also have the spirit side that not only uses the spirituality of that plant, let's say, it uses the spirituality of it, it uses the energy of it, it uses what the plant is, the composition of what it consists of. The spirit could use that also. That's another way. Okay, but what about the way that for some reason, sometimes I think that people don't understand, you know. And when I say the way, I'm meaning the way that you use an animistic form to accomplish what you're trying to transmit to that spirit. Meaning, if I get this hammer that nails on wood, right? You can nail nails on wood. You could take nails off. You could kill somebody with a hammer. Don't do that. You could do a lot of things with a hammer. Depending of what you are doing, you put the animistic idea of a hammer that's going to be used to perform a certain duty in that bilongo. Use your mind, use your head, think and hear, what am I saying? Have you ever heard of people that wear certain gadgets, certain amulets, certain things on their person, whether visible or invisible, meaning in their pockets, underneath their shirt or whatever, because they want to be protected or protect themselves from the evil eye, meaning people that look at another person and wishes them not good things. If you look at that concept, it's an animistic concept. Why? Because the person is not actually touching you. The person is not actually doing nothing to you. The person is doing everything from their mind. That they are feeling a type of way. They're animating a way towards you. They want you to either die, either go broke, either crash, either have problems with your family. All this is animated in the person's mind, and he or she is reflecting that energy out towards you. Same way could be used with the spirit. There are a lot of ways. These are not the only ways, people. I'm just giving that, trying to answer a little bit of that question that was asked to me. Now, if you want to learn, you will have to go to your elders and ask them to teach you at least the concept and the principles of it. And then within time, you are going to develop your own skills and use different type of ways to introduce medicine, to introduce ideas, to introduce the animistic side of it, to introduce the actual brain fart. The actual substance, the actual tangible thing to whatever you're doing. Tangible, meaning what you have, the stuff that you have around, the stuff that you have to get, literally. That's a lot of ways. So do your research. I'm sorry I can't go too much, and it takes a lot, and things that you can't really say around here, but people start doing crazy things. Tata Andy said you could do this like this. No, I'm only giving you guys kind of, how you can see things, and what I'm trying to explain a little bit what I mean. But anyway, you guys have a great day. And salam alaikum, salam que sambe la kutare. Always, hoy, mañana y siempre. Have a great day. Thumb up the video for your algorithm, guys.